white clover is one of the best things you can plant on deer plots and turkey too, up here in this part of Kentucky. Hello everybody, I'm up at my farm in Kentucky, my hunting land, and just wanted to show you something that's pretty devastating. Let me give you the backstory first. We came up here at the end of July and moldboard plowed my fields, and then we let them sit for a month, and we came up here at the end of August and we lime fertilized. Of course, we disked it a couple of times during that process, and seeded the fields with oats and white clover, and Cultipack goes in, and within a couple of weeks, from the trail cam cameras that I had, you can see parts of the fields, and looked like they were coming on and good and green, and they were. You can see it. I'll show you a picture of that. But anyway, I got here. Today is the 28th, I believe, of September, and I got here a couple of days ago. And when I came down to the field, this particular field, everything's pretty much gone, wiped out. Anyway, not what I expected when I got here. Let me show you what's going on. Okay, so you can pretty much see that there's really nothing left but a bunch of stubs where some of the oats came up, and I don't see a lot of the little clover coming up. There is some every once in a while, but in large part, this field has been totally wiped out. What's the culprit? They've kind of left here now since they've fed, but I did see a couple of them. Let's see if we can find one. There's one right here. There's another. There's another. These are what I believe is army worms. There's two more, and they have just come in here and wiped out my grain field. Now we got another bigger one than this a few hundred yards away, and I'll stop by there, and there's still oats standing in it, but I went back and looked at it again. There's some more of these worms. You can see them. Hopefully this thing is focusing. But anyway, they have just wiped me out. And I went back and looked at the other field over there, and it looked like there were some in there too, so I expect it to get wiped out as well. Anyway, not what I wanted. So what's left to do? I could come in here and at this late time and overseed with either wheat or cereal rye, but I don't want to do that because I was trying to establish clover here. So if I do that, then there may be too much vegetation in February left over from the wheat and or cereal rye, plus those things will compete with the clover. I'm going to come back in here and frost seed these fields. So that's supposed to be, I've never done it before, but it's supposed to be a pretty good technique. Coming here about the middle of February, and the ground freezing, thawing will incorporate the tiny white clover seed, and we should be able to get a stand. At any rate, terrible, terrible. I just think about all the time and the effort and the expense of doing this and to have this result. Looks like there may be some clover still hanging in down here, so maybe we'll have a little small patch of clover down here. Anyway, let me head back. Boy, there's a big boar right there. Let's go up and look at this other field. All right, this is my second field. This is the biggest field I've got. It's about, I don't know, an acre, maybe a little over an acre. But at any rate, you can see the it's got a greener sheen out there. There's still living vegetation out there. But I just walked out and found armyworms right away. And so they're gonna take this field as well. Like I said, I could come in here with cereal rye or wheat, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to deal with extra vegetation for the small clover that I am gonna be seeding in February to come up. There's still a lot of clover seed out here probably. You know, clovers can be hard seeded, and so there's probably some that hadn't germinated, so maybe that will come on. But I'm going to come back here around the middle of February and do the frost seeding. As far as fertility goes, we spread a lot of lime on these fields, and of course that's not going anywhere. The only hesitation I have about not planting something in here is a little bit of erosion I might get, but I believe leaving it fallow will give my clover that's coming up next spring after I frost seed it a better chance. Also applied all this up to soil test. Applied the lime, but applied phosphorus and potassium and a mix that had about 30 pounds per acre of nitrogen in it, just to help the oats out once they got going. But the P and K will still be here. The nitrogen, it was only 30 pounds per acre, so it's not gonna be any of that left next spring. But the clover won't need it. So my money on fertility is not wasted if I have success on frost seeding this spring. And so that's the only plan I've got. I sure hate this happened. We'll finish out. I'll show you up in front of the cabin. I've got a field up there that had clover already established on it when I bought the place last year. And I mowed it this morning and it looks great. I'll show you. Anyway, let's walk out here and I'll show you the armyworms on this field. You can see the little stubs of the oat plants that have just been eaten down. And let's see, there's some armyworms right there. Hopefully it will focus so you can see it. They're just everywhere, just eating everything. So I expect this field to get wiped out too. It already has, more than when I saw it when I first came here. So anyway, I'll be frost seeding this in February. All right, so I'm in the field in front of my cabin. Now you can see the cabin up there. It's an old, the cabin's built inside of an old tobacco barn. I need to give a tour of that sometime soon. Probably do that when the boys are all up here for opening day of gun season. Anyway, so here's the clover that was established, and this is what I'm going for. in those other fields. And I mowed it this morning, so you see some mashed down places. But this, you know, there's a little bit of grass in here I wanted to knock down. But anyway, this is the goal. It's achievable. You can see it right here. And if it hadn't been for army worms, probably be well on our way to establishment of clover. But we'll get it done. We'll get that, try to get that planted in middle of February. And anyway, the deer sure do love it. I'll show you some pictures of some deer out here feeding on this clover. White clover is one of the best things you can plant on deer plots, and turkey too, up here in this part of Kentucky. Anyway, until next time, hopefully hopefully I'll have some luck in the spring or the February frost season and stuff, and we'll get it going. Just a matter of time. So anyway, until next time, y'all have a good one, and hooty hoot.